Now play along with this one, okay? I want you guys to understand this. Now, you have your depict blank that you did in the prior quest. I want you to go ahead and open that, please. So I'm just clicking on it, and that launches this project. Now, this says blank. We don't want to do things to our blank. Eventually, this will be a template that we'll make, but for right now, we're trying to keep things simple. What I want you to do is save as, Shift-Command-S. We're going to save as, not as a copy, not as a template. Like I said, we'll do this later. Just a save as, and Illustrator's going to remember where we put this. Now, if this doesn't say depicts here, that means you didn't follow instructions in the prior video. Now I need you to follow instructions. Does that make sense? So we're all on the same page. Now I'm going to change that blank. Notice how I don't. This .ai, never touch that. Never, ever, ever. That's Illustrator's. You get everything to the left of that dot. And that .ai, that's an extension. The application gets the extension, you get the title. And I'm going to call this point area text, because that's what we're talking about. We're going to save that in the same place, and we can just hit return because that's been saved. That button was active. Now look, depict point area text. This is pretty simple, and you have one column here. I'll make mine look like yours. I know I'm on a smaller monitor. This is the type tool. When you click on this, things happen. This changed up here. Students are used to clicking and dragging. I'm going to do text, so I'm going to click out and drag out a text box. This is area type. It's used for paragraphs. We are going to be using display text for the most part. So I'm going to switch back to the selection tool here, this black arrow, click and delete this. And I'm going to delete it because I'm going to ask you to please, when you work with the type tool, click and then look, it's really little. What's going on? Why is it so small? Well, the default is Myriad Pro regular at 12 pixels. I've changed this. Yours will say point, and we'll get to the preferences. But for right now, what I want you to do after clicking, see that little flashing indicator that you can type text here? Type your name, not my name, your name, and then click the black arrow. Now, I know you can grab these handles, but I don't want you doing that yet. So right here, why don't you, this little pull down, and you can see it goes to 72. Let's say we wanted it larger. Let's double click on that 72, and I'll type 250. Now we have large text, and you notice we're doing this with the black arrow. As long as it's selected, we have the character type up here in this options bar. It changes. It's contextual. Now, pay attention, please. We're in Essentials. That's the default. Let's change to Typography. Now we're in Typography. Now we have lots of control here in this character panel. And if this ever changes, see these two little arrows right here? Click, click, click. See how that changes and cycles through? There are different settings, and I want you to have access to all of this. That's all I want you to do in this. And then save this with your name here. Okay, we're going to save it, Command S, and close it, Command W. That's it. Now you have two different Illustrator files here. This is the beginning of working smart, using camel case naming conventions, learning how to name things intelligently so they're descriptive. We're not going to have any files named with gibberish. That makes sense? Okay. This is actually misspelled, and I put this here for a reason. There was a reason this file was made. I was working collaboratively with someone else, and this was the naming convention they wanted, but I misspelled the file name. We'll talk about fixing those things. All right, so thank you. Now let's move on to your desktop picture.